In March of 2019, I took my 2011 Crown Victoria to my local Virginia Beach Maaco location to have it painted one color, as it was 3 different colors when it rolled off the Raleigh PD auction lot. I was just looking for the bare minimum to get this car painted, so I went with the $4.99 Maaco Special, which is their lowest tier paint job and only includes a single stage enamel paint. I made an entire video about that experience, the link to which can be found in the description. Long story short, I was happy with the paint job. Even though it was rough around the edges, one viewer summed it up perfectly, stating it looked good from afar, but far from good. It's now over 2 years later here in July of 2021, and upon viewer request, we're going to take a look at how it held up. Now, just a quick disclaimer, while this car is parked outside, I do keep it under a car cover when it's not in use. So I'd say out of a year, it's probably only completely exposed to UV around a month and a half to 2 months. Another thing to note is that I wax this car every 6 months, which is a necessity with these single stage paint jobs since they lack a clear coat. If you don't wax your single stage paint job and it starts fading, well then really you're the only person to blame. I use Meguiar's G18 216 liquid wax twice a year on this car. A link to that wax is in the description if you're interested. Thankfully, there's really not much to say about the paint job. 2 years later and it looks almost exactly the same as it did in the previous video I made about it. Sure, there's some new scratches and scuffs here and there just from driving it around and also from the car cover rubbing against it. But the only real flaws that have developed over the past 2 years can be seen around the plastic plugs I installed to fill the holes left by police hardware. I should have removed these before the car was painted, but I didn't really think painting over them would be a big deal. If the paint ended up flaking off them, then I would just let it flake off because they're plastic plugs and I would be completely fine if those didn't have any paint on them. The problem is that the flaking paint on the plugs is also taking some of the car's paint around the plugs with it. This would not have been an issue if I had just removed the plugs before bringing it in and then reinstalled them after the car was painted. So honestly, I think the blame for this problem is on me. And that's really it. That's all I have to say about the paint job because the rest of it has held up well. The spots that looked questionable and had overspray when I brought the car home still have overspray and still look questionable. And the parts that looked fine still look fine. And overall, personally, I'm still happy with this paint job.